the silent chamber of the heart, the body speaks in whispers. A dull ache, a sudden fatigue, an unexplainable tightness. These are not just symptoms, but messages. Messages from a soul that's been unheard for far too long. What if, instead of resisting the pain, we sat with it, like an old friend needing to be seen? We often treat our bodies like machines, push harder, rest later, numb the warning signs. But the body isn't a machine, it's a garden, and when the soul grows dry, no amount of fuel can make it bloom. When was the last time you watered your inner world? A mirror reflects the surface, but true reflection begins when we dare to look inward. Behind the smile we show the world may lie a tired, unseen self. The Buddha taught, peace comes from within. Do not seek it without. So, what do you see when no one's looking? Healing isn't a race. It's a gentle reunion with the parts of ourselves we once abandoned. Each breath, each pause, each moment of stillness is an embrace. You don't have to be perfect to deserve rest. You only have to be honest with where it hurts. There's a kind of silence that isn't empty, it's sacred. In that stillness, the body exhales and the soul speaks. Not in words, but in soft impressions. Warmth, weight, release. If you sit quietly long enough, your body will tell you everything it needs. Are you listening? Some people think self-love is indulgent, but the truth is it's necessary. To care for the body is not vanity, it is reverence. Every stretch, every breath, every gentle touch is a quiet act of devotion. How you treat your body teaches the world how to treat you. There are days the body feels heavy, uncooperative, foreign. Those are not days to force, but to hold. Healing is not linear, it moves like a tide. Some days you rise, some days you retreat, and both are sacred. You cannot punish yourself into wellness. The body doesn't heal from shame, it heals from safety, from gentleness, from being met where it is, not where you wish it was. Can you offer yourself that kindness today? Some wounds are invisible. You won't see them on scans or test results, but they ache in silence, buried beneath the I'm fine and forced smiles. To heal, we must first admit, I am not fine, and that's okay. Listen closely, the body never lies. It knows when we're afraid, when we're pretending, when we're disconnected, and it keeps the score. But it also knows how to forgive, how to soften, how to begin again. All it asks is, be with me. Healing begins the moment we stop running from ourselves. When we stop distracting, numbing, or rushing past the discomfort, and instead sit with it, hold space for it, breathe into it. That is when pain turns into a teacher and not just a burden. The body doesn't just carry you, it remembers everything. Every heartbreak stored in the chest, every fear curled into the gut, every unspoken truth weighing down the shoulders. What memory is your body still holding on to, waiting for you to notice? You don't need to be fixed. You're not broken, you're just tired. Tired from fighting your own reflection, your own feelings, your own needs. Rest is not a weakness, it's a sacred pause, a space where your wholeness can return. Beneath the skin is not just flesh and bone but story, and every story deserves to be heard. When you ignore your fatigue, your cravings, your tension, you silence a voice that has always tried to protect you. Can you begin to listen? Self-love isn't loud. It's not selfies or affirmations shouted into the void. It's quiet choices: drinking water before the headache, walking away before burnout, saying no when your soul whispers stop. It's the art of honoring your needs before they scream. Your body is not the enemy. It's the vessel that has carried you through everything, the heartbreaks, the late nights, the silence you never dared to speak. And still, it shows up for you every single day. Maybe it's time you showed up for it too. There's a wisdom that lives in your breath. It knows when you're anxious before your mind does. It shortens, tightens, escapes you. But when you choose to breathe consciously, slowly, deeply, it's like giving your soul a seat at the table again. Not every ache is physical. Some are echoes of words never said, boundaries never set, dreams you were told to shrink. The body carries what the voice couldn't express. Healing begins when you let it speak through movement, stillness, or even tears. Even the strongest tree bends in the wind. Flexibility is not weakness, it's survival. So when your body needs to slow down, when your energy wanes, don't fight it. Adapt, flow, and remember, the bamboo doesn't break because it yields. You've been so busy trying to keep up with expectations, with deadlines, with who you think you should be. But in chasing everything outside, you've forgotten to ask, what does my body need right now? Maybe the real journey is inward. Some discomfort is not to be cured, but to be understood. Pain, when listened to with patience, often reveals a deeper need. It's not asking you to suffer, it's asking you to notice, to pause, to be present with the parts of yourself you've rushed past for years. We keep waiting for the right moment to take care of ourselves after the project, after the crisis, after the next thing. But what if healing doesn't wait? What if now is the only doorway you'll ever truly have? The present moment is not small, it's sacred. There's a kindness your body is aching for, not from others, but from you. The way you speak to yourself when no one hears, the way you touch your skin, the way you forgive your flaws. You've always deserved gentleness. Maybe it's time to offer it. In Buddhism, the body is a temple not to worship appearances, but to honor presence. Each step taken with mindfulness, each bite with gratitude, each breath with awareness becomes a prayer. What would it feel like to live as if your body is sacred? Some healing happens in silence, not in noise, not in advice, but in acceptance. The quiet act of placing your hand over your own heart and saying, I'm here. Maybe you don't need answers today. Maybe presence is enough. Healing doesn't always look like light. Sometimes it's messy, slow, uncertain. It looks like crying in the dark, saying no without explanation, starting over for the 5th time. The lotus doesn't bloom overnight, rises slowly from the mud. When you slow down, you'll notice your breath is your anchor. It grounds you in storms. It steadies you in chaos. The inhale invites awareness. The exhale releases what no longer serves. You've always had a guide within you. All you had to do was follow it. You are not a burden. Your need for rest is not laziness. Your sensitivity is not weakness. The world may tell you otherwise, but your body knows better. Trust it. It's been whispering the truth long before you could speak it out loud. Healing the body begins with something radical, believing you are worthy of it. Not someday, not after achieving more, but now, as you are. Tired, messy, uncertain, and still whole. That's not weakness. That's the beginning of freedom. So ask yourself gently, not, what's wrong with me, but what has my body been trying to tell me all along? Behind every ache is a message. Behind every pause is an invitation. And behind every breath is a chance to begin again. Sometimes the loudest healing comes from the smallest choices: closing the laptop when you're exhausted, turning off your phone to sit in silence, choosing tea over tension. These quiet acts of self-respect, become sacred rituals, and rituals become peace. A wounded body often mirrors a silenced truth. The back pain from burdens unspoken, the migraines from pressure unvoiced, the exhaustion of pretending. What truths are waiting inside you, aching for light, for air, for freedom? You don't need to understand everything to begin healing. You just need to pause, to breathe, to listen. The seed doesn't ask how to bloom, it trusts the soil, the rain, the sun. Can you trust the quiet parts of your journey too? In Buddhism, suffering arises from clinging to how things should be, how we should feel, how the body should perform. But healing asks us to release, to accept, to hold life with open hands, not clenched fists. What are you ready to let go of? Each scar tells a story not of weakness, but of survival. Your body has not failed you. It has carried you, protected you, signaled to you. And now it is asking you, gently, can we begin again, this time with love? True healing is not about returning to who you once, about embracing who you are becoming. The old version of you may have survived, but this version is learning to live. And that shift, that awakening, is where the real beauty begins. There's a rhythm inside you more ancient than worry, older than fear, the rhythm of being. The more you tune into it, the less you chase, and the more you return. Not to a place, but to yourself. That's where healing makes its home. The body speaks in whispers, tight shoulders, a racing heart, tired eyes. But when unheard, those whispers become screams. Burnout, breakdown, silence. What if the next time your body spoke, you listened before it had to shout? Rest is resistance in a world that glorifies exhaustion. Each time you choose rest, you choose to value life over productivity, presence over performance. You say to your body, you are not a machine, you are sacred, and that changes everything. Healing is remembering what was never lost, your worth, your light, your belonging. The world may have made you forget, pain may have made you doubt, but deep within you, the truth remains untouched. You are already whole. When was the last time you thanked your body? Not for how it looks, but for how it holds you, moves you, shelters your spirit. Gratitude is medicine. A whispered thank you can soften even the most tired bones and remind them you are seen. Some parts of you are still hiding, not because they're broken, but because they were never made to feel safe. Healing is offering safety to those parts, not demanding they change, but showing them they are welcome exactly as they are. The body isn't just flesh, it's memory, instinct, spirit, and it never forgets how to return to stillness. Meditation isn't escape, it's reunion, with breath, with silence, with the parts of you the world kept pulling away from. You don't have to earn rest. You don't have to deserve joy. These are not rewards. They are your birthright. What if you treated your well-being not as a goal, but as a sacred remembering of who you already are? A flower does not bloom by force. It blooms by light, by time, by patience. What would happen if you gave yourself the same grace, the same space to unfold slowly, gently, fully, without apology? Every time you choose kindness over criticism, softness over shame, presence over pressure, you are rewriting the story your body believes. These choices may seem small, but they echo deeply. They become the language of healing. You don't have to have all the answers to begin again, just a willingness to listen, to pause, to try. Healing isn't a finish line, it's a friendship, a lifelong conversation between body and soul, one breath at a time. Even in stillness, growth is happening. Like roots beneath the soil, invisible yet alive. You may not see change today, but trust it's unfolding, quietly, powerfully, in the silence. Your soul is learning to bloom again. Your healing doesn't have to look like anyone else's. It doesn't need to be impressive or fast or perfect. It only needs to be yours. Gentle, honest, sacred. The path may be quiet, but it leads you home. So here you are, not fixed, but unfolding. Not finished, but faithfully beginning again. With each breath, each step, each act of compassion, you return to yourself. And perhaps that has always been the real healing all along.